welcome to another episode of The Inner Sanctum. It has once again been months between shows, if we wish to call this that. And I do apologize for that, but there has been a lot going on in my life, and no offense, I appreciate and love all of you guys, but sometimes you just gotta take care of yourself first, and that's what's been going on and what I've been doing mostly in 2024. But nevertheless, as you can see, I am not dead, but maybe in 4 months, we may all be dead. So, if I may, and you feel free to join me in FUCK Donald Trump! Alright, now that I got that out of my system, and hopefully you did that with me, if not, get the fuck out of here, you fucking fascist fuckers! Okay, totally out of my system now. I need to calm down, we need to just do this shit, we need to talk about dark ambient music, and, well, let's start out by saying I have a nice tasty beer here to drink, so this ought to help. Alright, this should also please Mr. Insectarium Joel. Nice dark beer here. We are drinking oatmeal, Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout. Yes, Oatmeal Smith. What the hell's wrong with me? So, I really positioned the camera poorly, but here we see a nice dark beer. Look at this lovely pour. It's gonna be too much for this glass. Maybe not. Alright, look at this. This is lusciousness. I'm probably gonna get drunk because I don't really drink that much, but that's fine. These videos are always better when I... Cheers! Go Black Knight or whatever. Oh, that's absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. My God, that is good. Okay, here we go. Up first, and already playing in the stereo, is a split album from Slithering Black Records. It's called Ecstasy of Fear, and it features Mike Benoit and Handalien. SBR, or Slithering Black Records, as I already mentioned, is a record label based out of Colorado? New York? I don't know where the fuck it's based out of. Somewhere in the United States is this record label called Slithering Black Records. And in a relatively short amount of time, they have put out quite a few releases. All of them generally in the, dark ambient drone or maybe slightly industrialish categories of things, but mostly dark ambient. It's and the label has, in a relatively short amount of time, not only put out a lot of releases, but gained quite a bit of reputation for putting out great music. This right here being SBR number 6, so the 6th release they've put out, and as I said, it is Mike Benoit and Handalien. Mike, as well, comes from somewhere in the United States. You can see how well I rehearsed this shit at this point. And Handalien is a project from Brazil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Turn your video off, this is awful. So anyway, Ecstasy of Fear. Oh man. So both of these artists have a pretty diverse selection of music on their Bandcamp page. Mike Benoit, to be fair, I have not dived into his music as well as I should have, especially considering I'm here reviewing his music. But yeah, man, he's pretty diverse. He jumps around a bit, but it's all within the dark ambient and post-industrial fields of thing, really. And Handalien, rather similar too, although I'd say some of his stuff is more cinematic dark ambient and certainly influenced by cryo chamber stuff and the AI cover artworks that adorn his Bandcamp site certainly reminds me of cryo chamber as well. This particular split album definitely represents a more minimal version of their sounds, I guess. It's a lot more dark, droning, ambient kind of stuff. There's not a huge amount of development between the individual tracks, but, it's one of those records you can just kind of put on and zone out to, as I often like to do with this sort of music. I mean, we all know that at this point, and yeah, it's just, dark droning ambient music. Nothing revolutionary, nothing that's necessarily mandatory for you to hear, but, it's worth looking up because both I think the artists have a pretty good catalog of music up for offer, especially Mike Benoit has been extremely prolific in the I don't know, I think he's been making music since 2021, and he's just got dozens upon dozens of albums. We were going to trade Bandcamp codes on Facebook. We never did it, so that's why I'm so misinformed about what's going on. Anyway, so there's the front cover. All of the, I'm going to take that out actually, there's the back cover. All of the artwork is done by Omen North, who is also the main, or the label boss of SBR. Come on, get away with that glare, come on. And then as you can see, there's that. So this is what it says on the inner booklet. In the collaborative split album between Mike Benoit and Handalien, Ecstasy of Fear, a profound exploration of the human psyche unfolds. The anti-melodies and sonic textures within the album venture deep into the uncharted realms of authentic fear and psychosis. Each track is a psychotic journey through the dark recesses of the mind, where nightmarish visions and psychological torment take center stage. And that is a very good way to describe this music. It's very minimal, but it has this sort of nightmarish and just almost freaky, almost schizophrenic sort of, I don't know, atmosphere to it, I guess. But yeah, really cool stuff, really dig it, and I mean, as I've said, both of these artists have a vast catalog of music to choose from on their Bandcamp sites, and several of their albums have been also released by SBR in the past year or so. And as I already mentioned, SBR has quite a few albums to dig into, so definitely check it out. That is Mike Benoit and Handalien, Ecstasy of Fear. Alright, let's move on and talk about Dean Frazier's The Shadow of the Present, his debut album. So, Dean Frazier is a dark ambient and industrial musician from California. Yes, I am capable of doing my homework. Look at that. My friend Lucas from Infinix Huma, I guess he told Dean about my music and the show, and Dean reached out to me about a month or so ago and was like, hey, I want to send you my album. But at the time, I was in a really depressive funk, and I basically just was like, I don't want your album, and I hate myself, and I want to kill myself, and ignore, and just, I have these moments, and many of you communicated with me through private messages you've probably encountered it to some extent. Anyway, me and Dean ended up doing a trade. I sent him my latest album, and he sent me this. And my God, I am so glad that we ended up doing the trade, because this is a very, very, very good album. So on The Shadow of the Present, Dean offers up dark ambient and industrial music that, at least to my ears, reminds me of an artist like Halo Manash from Finland, and quite honestly, a lot of the other artists that are on the Oral Hypnox record label. And if you have good taste in dark ambient music, and I know you do, you are familiar with Halo Manash and the Oral Hypnox roster to some extent, I'm sure. The best way to describe this music is that there's two long, slowly evolving compositions here. Each one is over 20 minutes long, so don't let the two tracks make you think this is a short album. It's well over 40 minutes. Slowly evolving tracks that's sort of over time become more intense in their delivery. The first one in particular just builds in intensity, becomes more industrial, and it almost becomes something of an industrial noisescape about around the 15, 16, 17 minute mark, somewhere around there, and it's quite well delivered. Very, very good. I mean, it's really immersive, really just dark and nightmarish and hypnotic, and I love this. What a fantastic album. I believe Orban Chalice Activities is also his own personal record label, so he's off to a fantastic start here. So anyway, yeah, if you were into that sort of ritualistic, dark, nightmare sound that's often present on the Oral Hypnox Records roster, definitely look this up. It's so fucking good, man. But I've listened to it so many times, it's like, God, it's just great. So there's the front cover. Pretty simple affair, but I like how it's sort of like, I don't don't know, it looks like an old school LP or something like that. It looks like maybe like something like an old krautrock band would have used as an album cover or something. I don't know. There's the back cover. And it also, I don't know if every version of the album comes with this, but he sent me also this pin. Check that out. That's pretty cool. He sent me this pin. That's really cool. Or it's sort of like a pin medallion, I guess, you know, whatever you want to call it. And then several stickers too. And I love sticking stickers on stuff around this room here, so that's really cool. And it also comes with a wax seal, as you can see here. The whole packaging. Maybe I influenced him there. Years ago. I showed the other side, but it has my address on there, and I don't want you to like find my address and come over and rate me or anything. So I'm not gonna show you that. But yeah, it's a very cool package. It comes in, you know, a envelope style packaging, and it has lots of little extras, which is super cool. But very cool stuff, and I mean, if this is his first, I mean, this guy's off to a great start here. I really look forward to following him throughout the next couple of years. I have no idea if he's, you know, what his age is, if he's young, if he's older, but it's great stuff. So definitely look it up. Dean Fraser, The Shadow of the Present. Oh man, that's good. I have died and gone to beer heaven. Highly recommended there. All right. Up next, we're going to talk about my music. Oh, geez, turn the video off, everyone. All right, a month ago, 2 months ago, this is yeah, about 2 months ago, I put out a split album, the second release on my record label, Befallen Sounds Productions, and it is called Alter Deutscher Wald, which was a split album between me, House of the Maker, and Archaic Ruins. So, I did post the full-length video and all that on my YouTube channel, but it got less than 100 views, which tells me people didn't give a shit about this too much. Even with my best efforts, it didn't get a lot of attention. I sent it out to a couple people to review. They did not review it, and I don't think they're going to review it, so that's cool, I guess. Just giving shit away for free. Anyway, earlier in the year, I want to say it was February, James from Archaic Ruins, who, in case you don't know, is also the mastermind behind the long-running project Wilt and Human as Disease and several other projects. And he's an extraordinarily prolific composer. Since the late 90s, he's put out, like, I don't know, I'll guess and say close to 300 albums and EPs and all that kind of stuff. Unbelievable, but he's also been doing this stuff for like 25 years too, so I guess. But really prolific composer. And anyway, we got to talking back in February. And I don't remember what the original, how the conversation initiated, but before we were done talking, we were like, okay, we're going to do a split album together. I was like, fucking hey. A lot of credit goes to James right from the get-go. It was his idea to center the album around Old German Force. That's what Alter Deutscher Wald means, by the way. He chose the artwork and did all the layout for here. I basically, our concept with this album was we wanted to create nature-based dark ambient, basically channeled through or trying to conjure up images and so on and so forth of what old German forest would look like. And in case you don't know, in ancient times, before there was way too many people on the earth and before we were destroying forests, old German pagan cults, did a lot of rituals and all that kind of stuff in these forests. Of course, a lot of this forest has been leveled for commercial purposes, and of course, a great deal of these forests were also destroyed during World War II. But there's a lot of history, and I guess how this concept came to mind for James is that he was on vacation in Germany some years ago. He bought a book, liked the photos, and was like, I gotta do an album around this someday. So that's kind of how it all came to be. And as it turned out, he was quite a big fan of my own House of the Maker project, so it was a good fitting choice to include me on this, and I am grateful for that, James. Thank you once again for including me. Anyway, so yeah, this was the second release from my record label, Fallen Sounds Productions, and as previously noted, I'm certainly trying to do things more professional these days, but we will see how the future unfolds. A lot of money goes into these each day, or each time, each release. Musically, this album is, as I said, dark ambient music with ample nature samples. I don't know exactly the exact source of James' field recordings, but mine personally were recorded in a tree house on the border of South Dakota and Minnesota back in the summer of 2020. And when I say a tree house, what I mean to say is that me and my wife stayed in an Airbnb that was quite literally a tree house that had amenities. It had, a bed, sink, toilet, all that kind of stuff, but it was built into a tree. It was fucking amazing. Beautiful, wonderful piece of, and these people built it on their farm too. It was insane. It was just so cool. And that's where I made the recording. Anyway, if you listen to the album, you'll understand the recording. It was made at night, and it was a lot of nocturnal creatures doing their thing and all that. So yeah, that was what, but anyway, the album is generally supposed to take you through the seasons and through the day and then tonight, which is where my compositions come into play. I in particular love James's second song on here, which is pronounced Ihre Grunden and Die Wehmut, are two very good songs. I love them. I think those are the two best that he put up on this album. My two personally are two long songs, which are somewhat in the typical House of the Maker fashion, slow, droning, dark ambient on some music. Fuck the goddamn airport! You guys are gonna hear a lot of airport bullshit in this video. I'm really sorry for that, but whatever. Ruining my train of thought. My two songs are two longer songs, which is typical of House of the Maker. So usual sort of chill House of the Maker stuff. This was more of a return to the roots of the project, going back to the Immersive Repose album, whereas some of the other newer stuff I put out with House of the Maker was maybe a little too drony, or maybe a little too melodic at times. I don't know. It's up to you guys to decide, really, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to, talk about this album real briefly, and which is probably going to be the longest review here anyway, but, just hope that you guys check it out, because not a lot of people check that out, and, it sucks, because I think it's a fantastic album. I'm not trying to be arrogant when I say that. I just think the music we came up for this is fucking phenomenal. So, anyway, there's the back cover, and once again, James did do all of the layout for this, and I thought he did an exceptional job. Like, the fucking book that I'd show you. These are on sale at my Bandcamp for $10 or $7 for the digital version, but you should definitely buy the CD version. I mean, come on, look how cool this is! What a great job you did in the artwork. Just fantastic. But yeah, there's a little recording information, all that kind of stuff right there. Anyway, I'm not gonna rant on any longer, and because you know how it goes. I don't really like talking about music too much because people get weird and not supposed to talk about your music or something. But anyway, Alter Deutscher Wald, House of the Maker, and Archaic Ruins. Cheers once again, and thank you for sticking along this far into the video. Now we're going to talk about a new entity from a veteran musician. This is Moonbladder, and their debut album, or is it an EP? I'm not exactly sure, but it's called Dark Sky Equilibrium. Moonbladder is a musical project from Jason William Walton, who is an artist I have mentioned on this show many, many times. Jason is most well known as being the bass player in the dark metal band Egelach, which, if you have good taste in music, you know Egelach is one of the most extraordinary, I guess, avant-garde and just, how do you really describe Egelach? There's so much that goes into their music over the years, but one of the best heavy metal bands ever, as far as I'm concerned. And I discovered them shortly after their first album back in early 2000, and they've they're one of my absolute favorites until they broke up in 2016. So great band. But outside of Egalock, and even before Egalock, Jason had quite a few musical projects and side projects throughout the years. And another project of his that I absolutely loved that I discovered back in 2001 was his project called Nothing, which was some sort of avant-garde dark electronica, also noise and dark ambient. Every release was a little bit different. Every release he put out was extraordinary with Nothing. And he's had various other projects, you know, since then, and between Egalock and after Egalock, and Moonbladder is his most recent. And wow, I was super hyped for this because I don't know, I guess everything related to Egalock and Jason I've just always really enjoyed quite a bit. And as I said, Nothing, I was a big fan of Nothing, and Nothing was actually a huge inspiration for me to start creating music. So thank you as always, Jason, for your inspiration. You probably didn't realize you were going to make this weird person here make dark ambient and other dark electronic music some years after you created that, did you? Anyway, this is really bad. So anyway, Dark Sky Equilibrium was released by Crucial Blast. It's a cassette tape. What we have here is one about 20-minute song, and it repeats on both sides of this cassette tape, which, to be fair, is really annoying. I feel like it really makes no sense to put out a cassette tape and then have the same thing on both sides, but okay, you do you, man, whatever. And I don't think it's, yeah. Anyway, there is no real easy way to describe this recording. This is, I hate using this word, but this is experimental electronic music. I mean, there's everything from dark ambient to drone, there's noise, there's like some, I don't know, dark wave-ish characteristics. There's a lot of just weird, inexplainable things going on in this recording. And I absolutely love it. It's great. I had to listen to it a few times before it really sunk in, but when it did, I was like, yeah, man, Jason does it again. So yeah, released like cassette tape. Before the cassette tape was even put out, like no audio was leaked, which was cool. I liked and appreciate that. The first time experiencing this was, with a cassette in my cassette player. So anyway, yeah. Really diverse and I mean, there's no really easy way to describe this stuff, but if you like dark electronic music, you will enjoy Moonbladder and Dark Sky Equilibrium. There is a look at the J card right there. Yeah, there's that. So this is what it says in the J card. Dark Sky Equilibrium is based on live improvisations during performances in Oregon, Washington, California, Vancouver, British Columbia, and New Hampshire. Whatever, fuck it. The piece was constantly changed, rearranged, and manipulated over dozens of shows until it reached its finished form in late 2023. Now that Dark Sky Equilibrium has been recorded, it is now being laid to rest and performed for the final time, April 21st, 2024, in Los Angeles, California. All instrumentation by Jason Walton, recorded in February 2024, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad Jason is back to making music like this, because as I said, I was a huge fan of Nothing, and even some years ago he put out his own, I guess it was dark ambient music underneath his own name. It didn't really hit me the same way like Nothing did. I thought like the earlier recordings were better under the Nothing moniker than his own solo, but this is great. I'm assuming this is the banner he's going to be working on going on in the future, so definitely check it out. Moonbladder, Dark Sky Equilibrium. Oh, Jesus, you're still here. Well, anyway, one more review for this here video here. I was actually going to talk about 2 more albums, but I'd be damned if I could find the other album I was going to talk about, so how irresponsible it would be. Anyway, we will preface this first review. These aren't even reviews, these are more like presentations at this point. So this album came with a note. I love when albums come with notes. Hey, Joseph! It's definitely not dark ambient, but we had fun creating this album. Take care. Yeah. Okay. So something entirely different for the Inner Sanctum and quite honestly my ears in general. Up next is Pete Barnhart and David Rose and their album Falling to Grace. About a month ago, David Rose came across my YouTube channel and he was like, hey, that CD release looks really cool, I want to buy one or something like that. And then after he bought one, he started saying how, oh, I put out this album and you should listen to it. And I was like, okay, if you want to send it to me, I'll listen to it. And so we did. And when I got back from Wyoming recently, I checked it out, and, well, needless to say, this isn't the type of music I normally listen to. So, Falling to Grace, sorry about the dramatics earlier, it's, falling with, I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, Falling to Grace is, I guess this would fall into the ambient or new age genre. So as David points out in a note, not dark ambient at all, and it's fine. When I listen to music like this, it reminds me of back in the day when I used to basically hang out at Barnes & Noble or Borders big bookstore, and there used to be, like I used to hang out there and just drink copious amounts of coffee while reading books and hoping to meet a fellow bookworm who I would become romantically connected to. This did not happen, of course. So I spent a lot of money on coffee, and a lot of hopes were washed down the drain too. But I miss Barnes and Noble. But anyway, the reason why it reminds me of that, because this reminds me of the music, like, because whenever you would walk into the music section of Barnes and Noble, they would be playing some sort of new age music, and it instantly reminded me of that. So good memories in spite of the fact that love was not made. So yeah, this is new age, ambient music, not necessarily my cup of tea, but it doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. This is very melodic stuff. It has, slowly evolving synths. It has sort of like a indigenous flute thing going on. There's some light percussion, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's ambient, new age stuff. I don't want to say that it's unoriginal or you haven't heard anything like this before, but it's new to me, I guess, in some extent, because other than like say my Kitaro albums, I don't own any other music like this, and music like this is cool when you need to chill out, obviously, or just I don't know, I don't know. Everyone has their specific reasons for why they listen to music and when they listen to it, and I know that even though I usually prefer things dark and grim and evil and miserable, I really like this album, so hell yeah, man. So thank you to David for sending this to me. This was a nice surprise. It's, as I said, not the thing I usually listen to, but it's definitely something I can pull out maybe once a year and just be like, all right, let's just chill out and think about those bygone days of hanging out at Barnes and Nobles and reading books and drinking too much coffee and not sleeping at all during the night. So yeah, check it out. Oh, that's really a little bit too. So anyway, there's the front cover. I'm really bad today. Really not focusing. Sorry, I'm ADHD. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that in all the years that I've done this videos. So there's the front cover. Yeah, so there's that. So anyway, I should also mention Pete Barnhart. He does the guitars, bass, keyboards, vocals, percussion, and programming, while David Rose does the Native American flutes, the world flutes, and the Ebo guitar. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, check it out if you want. I honestly, I don't know how to get this because David told me he doesn't have a Bandcamp, so I don't know. I guess if anyone wants to buy it, let me know and I'll get you in contact with him on Facebook or something. I don't know. Well, everyone, thank you for joining me here on the Inner Sanctum. My name is Joe. And I won't promise this, but I'll try to make a new video before a few months pass. Actually, I owe someone a video, and I actually owe them a pretty good video because they sent me a lot of shit, and I should not be an ungrateful douche and not review their music in a more elaborate capacity. But even if I don't review in an elaborate capacity, I should at least feature it here and talk about it because they sent me several CDs, tapes, and vinyls, and not a lot of artists will do that. So hopefully the next video will be, centered around that musical project. Anyway, though, if you have enjoyed this, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, share, subscribe if you want. I don't really give a shit at this point because you can see how much time I'm spending on this channel at this point. But feel free to do all those things. Feel free to repost this video. Fuck the goddamn airport near my house. God damn it. My name is Joe. We'll see you later. This has been Inner Sanctum.